This time next year, we will be millionaires. But in today's episode, we're going to be discussing on how to not let your emotions control your life. Some people tend to let their emotions run their entire life. They let their emotions make the decision that they should be making and not their emotions. What do I mean by this? When it gets hard, they quit. When they get tired, they stop. They react without thinking. We react without thinking. Because I tend to do it at times. But I feel that today, now, in this moment in time, I am more conscious about it. So I stop myself from letting it happen to me. A couple months back, I wasn't really aware of it. And I was letting my emotions control me, control my life, control the decisions I make, control how I react, how I talk. And it's not okay. Because put it this way, when you're mad, the first thing you want to do is yell at someone, take out your anger. And so naturally, when someone talks to you and you're mad and they say something that probably you wouldn't generally care about, you'll just let it slide. But in the instant that you're mad, the first thing you do is yell at them. That is you letting your emotions make the decisions for you. That is you letting your emotions yell at someone else. That is you letting your emotions speak for you in your tone, but not really your emotions tone. But don't get me wrong. What emotional control is, it's understanding your feelings, understanding your emotions, and whether you should act on them or you should not. Whether it's the right time or place to act or react on them. It is not about ignoring your feelings because you can be mad, you can be sad. What really defines you is how you choose to react on it. So, the important thing is not how you feel, it's what you do about how you feel. Your emotions trick you into reacting. Funny how the very bad decisions we make tend to occur in the first few seconds of the emotional rush that is occurring to you. So, most bad decisions happen in the first few seconds of an emotional reaction. So, when you're mad, let's say someone said something to you and it triggered you, and you're like, oh, you fucking did this, you fucking did that. That's the bad decision, and those are the first few seconds. When you have an emotional breakdown, or it's very emotional for you, your body wants to react faster than your mind can think. Hence the reason you do things that you should not be doing with your hands, with your mouth, with your entire body overall before your mind can think, is this good? Is this the right moment? Should I do it? Should I stop myself? Even if the feeling is temporary, you want to believe that it's not. You think that it is so important that your brain does not let you process that this is just a temporary feeling. Now, one of the important things to remind yourself is that reacting is the biggest enemy of progress. Why? When you react to things based on your emotions, you are inconsistent. Why? Because if today you're happy and tomorrow you're mad, today you're gonna have a happy reaction, you're gonna have a happy action. Tomorrow you're gonna have an angry action. So it causes inconsistency. And when you want to progress and you want to be better and you want to be disciplined, you have to be consistent. Inconsistency should not be a vocabulary word for you. It should not even be in your dictionary, as a matter of fact. Let's remind ourselves progress needs stability, and emotions get rid of that completely. If you choose comfort instead of commitment, then you're in serious issues. If I do that, then so am I. But that, but hence the reason we gotta work in it. It's something that is a long process, not an easy one, but it is something that will pay you off in the long run. Don't let your emotions control. Don't let your actions be based on emotions that tomorrow will no longer exist. You gotta learn how to control this. How can you do this? What can you implement to do this? Become aware early before body has the time to react. How can you do this? First of all, when you realize your heart skipped a beat, or maybe it was beating a little bit faster than usual, or maybe you have a tight chest, or you can feel the tension in your body, that's when you tell your brain, just stop is enough. Another thing that I started to use was from the webinar that Brian Tracy once did. You can find it on YouTube. And Brian Tracy said, tell your brain, you are responsible. Tell yourself, you are responsible. You are responsible. And it will stop. It won't have time to think or react or have an action on your emotion because you're already telling your brain, you are responsible. You've got to stop this. You can just tell it stop and it interrupts it. It has zero space to react based on the emotion that you're feeling at the time. Use the pause technique. This is another technique that tends to help, but you gotta be a little bit more conscious about it. How do you do this? When you feel the emotion, when the emotion is presented to you, you take a pause. Okay? Just say, okay, wow. This causes a disruption within your brain. It actually gives time for it to think. We have the fast brain and we have the slow brain. The fast brain makes a decision in an instant. The slow brain is the analytical brain. It takes time. It decides whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you should just forget. So take a pause. Someone told you, I saw your boyfriend with another girl. Well, you see, you asked something else. You didn't assume. Because you cannot assume. Because if you start assuming, then you are in serious issues. You cannot let yourself assume of anything. You gotta pause, think, ask more. Discover if it's really something that bothers you or if you think it just bothers you in that specific instant. Well, if it will not be important, if it will not bother you tomorrow, why should it bother you today? Will it affect you physically, financially? No? Then I don't fucking care. And neither should you. Now to finalize this, remember, pause, think, ask. And maybe you don't have to ask someone else. Maybe you are alone. What you can do is you pause for 60 seconds, you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and so forth. You sit back, you ask yourself, would this be the way a millionaire would react? Is this the way I want my future self to react? Then you react based on your answer. If your answer was that your future self, the millionaire self, is reacting the way you want to react today, then that's fine. React the way you are. But remember, the consequences of tomorrow will only affect you. Nobody else but yourself. Now, if you think, you pause, you ask yourself, is this the way my future self would react? And your answer is no, then you have your answer and you don't have to react because you already interrupted your brain and you told it that it's not okay for it to react that way. And don't forget yet again, this time next year, we will be millionaires.